All right, today we are going to cut a chicken. We're going to butcher it down and we are going to put it into pieces. 2 breasts, 2 wings, 2 legs, 2 thighs, and then 2 tenders. This is really hard because I've never done any video recording before, and I super don't want to cover my new laptop in dead chicken. But we're going to go for it anyway, so let's give it a start. So we're going to tilt the screen. And there we have a chicken. Look at the chicken. It's important that the chickens start off a certain way. There is an upside down and a right side up. This is right side up. You should be able to see. I'm going to bring this screen around. All right. Where are we? Ooh. You can see the breast in here. And this is the center. Oh, I suppose you can't see that. Wow, we'll figure it out. Let's try again. Okay. This here is the center bone that we're going to cut along, and you'll see how I do it. Hopefully. So it's super important that we start off with a really sharp knife. Mine looks like so. It's from my knife kit. It's a boning knife. So, using your fingers, you're going to sit there, and you're going to feel this bone. It runs all along the backbone of the chicken. I suppose this would be the breastbone, not the backbone, so just ignore I said that. And you can, sometimes the chickens are going to have feathers on them. Sometimes they're going to have some other things on them. You can just peel that off. You don't want it. I usually eat mine skin off, bone off, but you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to show you both ways. So, first things first. Starting at the top, up here, using just the tip of your knife, slice into the chicken into one nice cut. Continuing, use just the very tip and cut along the breast bone. Your knife is going to follow the bone, and just going in, you're going to use the tip to scrape. And you can hear it scraping, or I can. And you're just going to scrape along, and it's going to give you such a pretty look. Now I'm just cutting it away from the breastbone and pulling it apart. And you can cut a little further down. And you can see how one side is pulled away. And that's how we're going to start. Coming back up in, we're just going to continue following the bone here. And we're going to gently take the stuff out. There's a little bit of tendon here that I left, so I'm going to get that out. Be careful. Sharp knife equals don't want it in your finger. There we go. Just get rid of that little guy. And just keep scraping along the breastbone. Come up along the back, and you can cut any of this loose skin back here. Make it a little easier on yourself. And just keep kind of going at it. Now, here we have, from the way that I've cut it, you can see, mostly, that this is the whole half of the chicken. Here's the breast, here's the thigh, here's the leg. And we're just going to try to get this off. Now, there's tendon connecting the chicken to the chicken. There's a little bone up here. And that's why you want a sharp knife, because it's just going to cut right through the tendons. You don't want to cut the bone. You just want to cut through the tendon, not the tender. Okay. And that is how you get it away from the breastbone. Now, at this point, you come up along the back, flip the little guy over, cut along. There's another tendon up here by the arm, wing, whatever. If you want to humanize it, you can. If you don't, don't. Again, we're just cutting the skin away. I can't believe any of this is actually being seen, but that's okay. Now we're just kind of held on by this tenuous little bit. It's in there. Okay, so that's the breast. I have to hunt for the tendon. Okay, there it is. And that's the nice thing about the chicken, is you can always find where the tendon is by moving it. Just find out where it moves, cut there. Ooh, liver's popping out. So now we have wing and drummy, breast and tender, which is coming off, and we'll get back to those in a minute. I just want to get the other side done real quick. Okay, so for the thigh, cut, still away from the breastbone. There's this little piece down there that's called the oyster. It's not an actual oyster, that'd be fucking gross, but it's called the oyster. Cut away from the tail. That's inedible and it's disgusting. Well, it might be edible, but we don't want it. And again, you can see this is his hip bone. We're just going to cut around it, and it's just going to come right off. And that is the leg and thigh. Alright, and that's half the chicken. Right there, all gone. And there's very little meat left on the actual carcass on that side. Now we switch over to the other side, and we do the exact same thing. Just follow the breastbone, using the tip of your knife, cut away the meat. Now, I always have more issues with the, see, I'm like completely killing this chicken. I mean, it's already dead, but I always have issues with the second side. First one comes off all nice and pretty. The second one's like, no, we're good. And that's okay, because it's only for me, so I don't really need to impress anyone. Okay, cut along, cut along, cut along, and just cut it off. Okay, there's another wing and drummy. Here's another breast. This chicken has a lot of excess skin and it's making me sad. That's okay, because we're going to trim it all eventually. Okay. There we go. We left a little bit of meat on there, but it's nothing that the world's going to end over. And then that's your chicken carcass. There it was as we started. There's its tail and stuff. Not a whole lot of meat left on it. Still a little bit. I could have done a better job, but whatever. I'm in school. And then it's just going to go in the stock pot. I'm going to wash my hands. Even though I'm just going to play with more dead chicken, but whatever. Makes me feel better. Okay. So, leg and thigh. Feel out where it connects. I mean, you can even see that there's these fat lines. That's about where we're going to cut. And you can look in there, and you see the bone, and just kind of follow it, and it's just going to pop right off. So now you have a drumstick, and you have the thigh. And you can just kind of peel off the skin. A lot of people don't eat the skin. Of the opinion that it's kind of the best part, but whatever. Depends on how you're cooking it. To get the bone out, just kind of cut along the edge of the bone out of the kitchen. Talking to the cat, not you. And just kind of cut the bone out. I'm slaughtering this chicken today, and I apologize for that. Ta-da! Chicken thigh. This is going to go in our stock. And this is going to get reserved. I'm going to cut off some of this extra skin on the drumstick because it's not very pretty. And I tend to leave the skin on the drumsticks, even if I don't leave it on everything else, because I don't think I've ever even seen a skinless drumstick. So that's going to get reserved. And we're going to throw the skin in the stock pot. Alright. The breast. The skin's going to come right off Just pull it. It's not going to fight you. It's going to come right with you. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a gross feeling, but you now have a skinless, boneless chicken breast. We've already taken out the bone. However, we want to remove this little guy. This is the tender. It just kind of chills out with the chicken breast. So you're just going to cut it away from the chicken breast. And now you have one ginormous chicken breast. And a chicken tender. And that's how you do it for that. Last but not least, I'll show you the wings. I don't eat wings, but everybody else does. They're welcome to their wrong opinion. It's the same thing. Just kind of feel out where the joint is and cut there. And it's going to come right off. So there's your wing tips. You can't really do anything with that. Feel where the joint is and cut. And you have chicken wing and your wing tip. Now, sometimes people will like push this forward and make little lollipops or whatever out of them. I don't get the point. I'm not going to do that. And just throw your wing tips into the stock pot unless you can think of a better use for them. And that is how you bone and skin a chicken.